Hi everyone, this mini workshop is going to be on sleep and your sleep rhythms or circadian rhythms, sleep-wake rhythms. Your body follows a 24-hour biological clock called your circadian rhythm, and it regulates your sleep, your hormones, your metabolism, your stress levels. We spoke a few weeks ago about nervous system, stress levels, and cortisol levels. So your cortisol rhythm, I'll just run over it here again. Cortisol is not bad for us in the right doses because it helps us with short bursts of energy, it helps with motivation, performance if we're training, and energy as well. Your cortisol levels should be high in the morning and low at night. But if you have high stress, your cortisol levels are all over the place. They might be chronically high. You might be crashing at the wrong times. And if you have poor sleep, stress impacts those cortisol levels. Stress completely disrupts this cortisol rhythm, which impacts your sleep. So if your sleep is broken, your hormones are going to struggle to regulate. When we look at sleep and hunger, so if we don't have good sleep whatsoever, again, that cortisol and circadian rhythm is off, then you will notice that you are hungrier. You're not as full as you usually would be off certain meals. You might have more cravings. Your appetite is impacted. Because of the poor sleep, it disrupts multiple different hormones. Your sleep is by far the most important thing in your life because that is when you recover. That's when your hormones regulate, your nervous system regulates, your mind is turned off. So when your sleep is disrupted, everything goes out the window. And so every hormone in your body is disrupted when you have poor sleep. Everything to do with your hunger and fullness hormones, your mood, your stress levels, cortisol, everything is impacted when you have poor sleep. When we look at sleep and fat loss, we know that because of poor sleep, your body is deprived of good quality sleep, and it's harder to lose body fat, and your fat storage is also increased. Now, it's not because of losing sleep directly causes excess weight gain. It's because it's to do with your cortisol levels. And also your energy isn't balanced. So if you are trying to lose weight, you're doing a fat loss phase, you're doing the food right, you're doing the training right, but your sleep is terrible, it is probably going to be the main reason that you are not losing the body fat either at all or maybe at the rate that you would expected or want to because of your cortisol levels, particularly if you struggle with fat loss around your belly, your midsection, because cortisol loves to store fat in the highest areas in your body, and are, for females, the most amount of fat cells that we have are on our belly, which is why it's the hardest place to lose fat and also where fat stores when we have high cortisol levels. You need sleep for all metabolic requirements, not only physically and for your biology and for your reproductive system, for your digestive system, but for your mental health, your mental energy, your concentration, and your focus. So if you struggle with sleep and you want to learn more about sleep, what you can do in the Women's Health Hub is click categories, and you can go in here to you can actually just type it instead of going through. Just type sleep and you'll see everything to do with sleep. If you want to learn about your energy deficit and your fat loss and why sleep is impacting there. If you want to read about your menstrual cycle phases and how that might impact your sleep. If you want to focus on, again, more stress levels and how that might show up in different areas of your body, you can just type in sleep into the categories. And if you really want to focus on your sleep for the next 30 days or so, go into the 30-day resets, click 30-day sleep reset, and you will see that there is a reset for you, completely focused on sleep. So in here, fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, wake up with more energy. It's a science-backed 30-day reset, which will help you with your sleep, okay? So full reset, week 1, I'll tell you everything that you need to do, how to reset your circadian rhythm, which I just went through, and wind down routines, everything to do with blue light, apps, regulation routine, and you'll be able to access your nervous system regulation, breathwork sessions, mindfulness sessions to do with sleep, all in here. So for example, you click in here and you might want to go to breathwork for a peaceful slumber, and you might want to play that before you go to bed. Okay, so let me know what you think about this workshop. If you have any questions, pop them in the community. And I'm looking forward to hearing how your sleep is improving as you follow along with science-backed education, tools, resources, etc. inside the hub. Okay, thanks. See you in the next video. Bye.